Welcome back. Now, Breakfast Daily is interactive. We definitely want to hear from you throughout the conversation. And this particular conversation, I'm sure you will have quite a bit to say about it. So the WhatsApp line is 0550-585-832. If you happen to be outside Ghana and you're interested in chatting with us, add +233 to that number. Of course, on all social media platforms, the hashtag is Breakfast Daily. Now, the conversation is about a new dawn in the Ghana film industry. We've been joined by a very special person. But before we introduce her to you, let's take a look at what happened in the last, few hours regarding the new name for the Ghana film industry. Let's take a look.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Black Stars film. The Black Stars film. Definitely. And when you talk of the Black Stars, clearly this is not new to us. If you look at our flag, you'll see the black star shining in there, and this represents the old generation and the new generation. So this is Mr. Kwanzaa representing the old generation and Nakia representing the new generation. Guys, let's give it up for them one more time. Black Stars film. So now, no more all the woos and all the name. We have our own identity, our own film industry. And what is the name? I can't hear you. What's the name?
Black Star.
What's the name?
Black Star Film.
Okay, so when I say Black Star Film, you said this is our own Black Stars Film.
This is our own.
Over 400 names were submitted and narrowed to 10. This was then narrowed down by the over 2,000 participants who entered their votes, and on the 2nd of December, the committee at its meeting held at 2 p.m. called the vote, the final vote. The film and audiovisual sector hold one of the largest opportunities for Ghana to create the much-needed jobs Ghana needs, attract the foreign direct investment that Ghana needs, and to brand Ghana favorably to the world. We use the opportunity to call on all Ghanaians to patronize and, where possible, invest in the film sector.
We took into consideration the popular vote. We were faithful to the popular vote, and we determined that we would only have a problem with the popular vote if for some reason perhaps the name is being used elsewhere or there is some other thing that will compromise the name. But after deliberation, we decided that actually the winner is the winner. And the winning name was garnered, I won't tell you the winning name, but that winning name was picked by 21.1% of the voters, 21.1%. And the second runner-up was 15%. So you can see that there was a clear winner, and so it made our work very easy. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting developments there, right? So now we have an idea what we are talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here with us the Executive Secretary of the National Film Authority, the people who gave us the name. And she's joining us. Juliet Asante is here, and we're going to have a conversation. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's always good to have you here.
Yeah.
It's always good to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thus far we've come. As a film authority, and of course we will get to the controversies and the various, social media, agitations and all of that later. But when did this process begin, for us to find this name?
I don't remember exactly when, but it's definitely been over a year. The committee, the brands committee headed by Professor Audrey Gajepo, as you saw, came together and put it out there. When I say came together, as in they were commissioned to do the job. And we were very careful with the selection, making sure that we had a diverse representation on there. So they came together and put it out, and over 400 names came in, quite a number of names, oh yes. And the committee's job really is to facilitate the process, but not to decide that the decision is for or was for Ghanaians to make. So the 400 names, as you can imagine, I think during the presentation, the chair spoke about the things that they looked out for, marketability, all of those things. So they narrowed it down to 10. And the 10 names were put out again, and Ghanaians were asked to narrow down. And the votes came in, and on the 2nd of December, the committee had the meeting, and word came to us that, you know, the process was complete and the popular votes won.
Right now, how important is it for us to have a name for our industry?
So first of all, let me backtrack and talk about Ghana as a country and the importance we put on naming. And we believe as a people that naming is an intentional act. It embodies the characteristics, even the life's path of an individual, where you come from, where you are, where you're going. You know, a name is really a spiritual call to identity and all of those things. And when you come to branding and all of those things, I mean, some people may argue that, oh, there are some industries that had names happen to them. We as a people, we don't believe that names should happen to us. If you name your child, people refer to the child by a certain name and then it sticks. And also for the marketing process, you need a name that you can use to garner, you know, attention and to drive the spirit of where you intend to go. And another thing we considered is at no point did Ghanaians, because the sector belongs to Ghanaians, you know, the sector represents Ghanaians. It's what tells our stories out there. And along the way, we've lost our audience. So one of the things to do, one, is to get Ghanaians themselves to decide what they want to be called. And that we did. When that happens, then Ghanaians will buy into the name and, you know, look at the sector and get the feeling that, you know, this is for us, this represents us. And I think that feeling of this is for us and this represents us is what was reflected in the choice of the name that represents us. So the name is, you know, for me, it's what we are using as a cry to go out there. Bear in mind that when you go into any country like Nigeria or whatever, the Nigeria film industry is there, the Ghana film industry is there, the Chinese film industry. So the country, you know, using it as a descriptive, that name is there. But then you want a brand name that you can now identify with. And if you go into other countries, you know, you have Nigeria that has Nollywood, you have Bollywood and all that. The question was, should we go down that route? The choice was there. And Ghanaians chose differently. Ghanaians decided to be different. Ghanaians decided to pick a name that is representative of who we are and what we aspire to. And that's what played out, really.
You know, there have been concerns in recent times over movie industry not doing so well. You know, I won't be too wrong if I even extend it to our music industry as well. Does we not having a name, you know, contributed to this in any way?
Well, for branding purposes, I wouldn't say, you know, I wouldn't use a sweeping brush and brush everything, but we are the National Film Authority and the you know, Obibeka Penyinfono in the sector and all of that, and Penyinfono oversighting the sector, thought it was such a relevant and important thing to do. Right now, even if you go on major platforms, you know, you don't even see Ghanaian film as a standalone. We are actually being swallowed by other countries. And so, you know, the thing is it the only thing to do? No. But we are tying it directly to our agenda of situating Ghana as a film hub, as a content destination, as a shooting destination. If anyone around the world wants to shoot a film, we want them to make it into Ghana. And so if you look at all the projects that we are launching, is in that direction. One, to bring the local sector up to meet the international sector, and then to position ourselves where we are attractive enough to attract the global community to come to Ghana. So it's all linked.
Yeah, I'm curious, how many, do you have any idea what sort of numbers of people were involved in the vote?
So the final, I don't have the numbers for, obviously when the names were coming in, I said over 400 votes, but the final votes were over 2,000.
Okay.
And as you see, the winner got over 21%, but quite a number of people, you know, this has been going on for a year.
Yeah.
So if you go on social media platforms and you go on WhatsApp groups, and there's been so much conversations, and you could even tell how people were feeling, because if you go to Obibeka, if you go to trends and you go to what people have written, threads and stuff like that, you can see people mentioning different names and making arguments for it. I myself had a different name I voted for on the, you know, amongst the 10 that I was hoping would win and didn't win. So you could tell how Ghanaians were feeling. And another thing is, I think the chair of the committee said it, people were asked to state why they chose or they preferred certain names. And everyone kind of gave their feeling. And for the name that won, people went on about it representing who we are. If you mention Black Star globally, everybody knows who we are. You know, the star, you know, we are the star of Africa, we are the star of the world. It represents our spirit, the fact that we shine, all of those things. So people had their reasons for choosing the names that they did.
Okay.
Right, so let's give you the options, you know, that we had to choose from. So we had Ghana Film Industry, and I had a problem with that because Ghana Film Industry is not a name.
It's
you
not
know?
it's not
I
a
mean,
name.
if you talk about fishing industry, it doesn't mean it's a name. If you talk about, I mean, industry is industry.
Yeah.
You know, you talk of what the people are doing. So I had a bit of asterisk on Ghana Film Industry. So, but we had Cine Ghana, we had Cine Gold, we had Gold Coast Films, Gold Coast Pictures, Black Star Films, Sankofa Films, Cine Chrome, Cine Fie, and Gollywood. Now, at the end of the voting, Black Star Films emerged the brand name, and I'm sure you saw it. You know, I believe that you've heard all the discussion going on now, but what I would want to put out there is the personalities involved. I think that somebody like Kalansa knows his craft, and so if somebody like that is telling us that this is what he believes in, this is what he thinks we should do, I think we may want to pay attention to that. Professor Audrey Gajapo was in there as well. And I don't know the board chairman's involvement. That is David Donto. Now, you said you did not even vote for Black Star Film.
Who did you vote? What name did you vote for?
What name did you vote for and why?
Cine Gold.
Why?
Because I felt that Cine, you know, cinema is global, but when you come locally, it also represents cinema, you know, so Cine is a local language as well as it's global.
Okay. That's interesting.
Gold is representative of who we are as a people. You know, people kind of, even if you look at sentiments, people were even complaining about the tree account slant of some of the names. And so all of those sentiments came up, and gold represents all of us. So I felt that Cine Gold was a good name, but you know, I didn't win. It's not nice.
No, but I think I
Cine Gold is very
understand.
nice.
I would have said Cine Fie, but the challenge with Cine Fie is, like you said, it gives it an account twist already, which is not necessarily representative of the entire country.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
but Cine Gold is interesting. I don't know if I would have chosen Cine Gold. I mean, but I do understand it because we are known as the people of gold. You know, Gold Coast and all of that, and of course we're looking at Cine and also cinema.
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly.
I probably would have chosen something Gold Coast-ish.
Okay.
so I probably would have gone for Gold Coast or Black Star something. You know, simply because I feel that when you mention Gold Coast, automatically everybody knows you're talking about Ghana.
Yes.
If you mention Black Stars,
Star,
automatically
globally,
people know that you are talking about Ghana.
Exactly.
Now, why did you not go for Black Star Films?
It didn't even occur to me. In fact, you know, looking at the names, for some reason, my mind just went there. It was the name I put in even initially before it was reduced to 10. That was one of my, you know, that was my name. It actually jumped out to me when Mr. Kwanzaa sent in his vote. And our honorable minister also sent in his vote, and it was all Black Star, and I was like, oh, okay, you know. And then other people online on social media, other people kept bringing it up, and people kept saying that, oh, it's, you know, it represents arts, and I was like, oh, Mitiana, you know, Mitiana. But as the chair said, you know, the popular sentiment. And now that you know, when it was selected and it got to me after the committee's decision, thinking about it, I thought, okay, this is seamless. You know, this represents who we are. We are the Black Star of Africa. We are the Black Star of the world. It represents the spirit of where we want to go, the stories we want to tell, and all that. So, you know, there's no point to resisting what everyone wants. And so that's basically, you know, what it is.
If you think about it, since 1957, we've had Black Star this, Black Star that, Black Star Square, Black Star Line, Black Star, Black Stars.
In fact, when Mr. Kwanzaa sent in his vote, that was one of his things. He said, the name was given to us by Marcus Garvey, and it is our name, and that's what it is. And you know, and Mr. Ansah, you know, believes in the spirit of the black person and all of that. And you know, some of the words though that have come out afterwards have been saddening, so to speak. Someone even said something like, "What good can come from black?" And I thought, wow, okay.
Well, you are black.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what good can come from black? And I thought, wow,
problematic.
This is representative of a mindset that is problematic. And so maybe that's even why the good Lord allowed this name to be chosen, so this conversation can be had and some of these things can come out, and we can all understand the power that is behind the blackness that we are.
There's actually since the announcements, there's actually been a social media petition to, in quote, save the Ghana industry, film industry now. Right. Okay, and it says save the Ghana film industry now. You know, and it was started by okay. So it says here, George Quay started this petition to the Honorable Minister for Tourism and Tourism, Arts and Culture, and you know, and three others. Now, the Ghana film industry was on Wednesday, December 8th, named Black Star Films, a name that conflicts with an awards festival bearing nearly the same name and owned by the executive secretary of the National Film Authority, yours truly. Now, so it goes on to give us a background as to when it was created and all that. Wait, have you seen this?
I actually did this morning. Someone sent it to me, and it's interesting because the person who sent it to me had yesterday sent me a message, and the person is big in the entertainment world, to say that, Juliet, you know, we love what you're doing. We love the name. It's self-explanatory. Don't even try to explain this name. So then this morning I woke up and the individual has sent me the petition. But, you know, the petition is, again, you know, to the minister. The minister himself voted Black Star Films, you know, so it would be good to hear what the minister has to say. But my question to George Quay and everyone is that this has been out for a long time. The name Black Star Films and every name that was on there had equal chance of winning. So all of the energy that is going towards this petition now, I wish it had gone on before now, because then it would have come in front of the committee. In fact, I hear that the committee discussed it. Because someone brought it up that, you know, this name is what Ghanaians want, but then there's the festival that's been around, and I don't own the name. The truth is, unless Ghanaians want to give me the ownership of Black Star.
But
You know,
Black
I
Star
don't
Film
own them.
Festival is registered.
It is registered
So
as a
is this
non-for-profit.
your business?
Yes, it's
right?
a non-for-profit. But what I mean is, I do not own the name Black Star, as in Black Star belongs to Ghanaians, and everybody can register.
Yes.
You know, something that is Black Star.
I think the concern here is where you sit. You
True.
know, and now this name is coming up.
True.
You are very actively
True.
involved. You
True.
hold a very high position
True.
in this whole entity.
Right.
And I just want to know, how was it like, you know, seeing Black Star Films in there in the first place? Were you the one who suggested, who put it in there?
No, I suggested Senegal.
Senegal.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Now, when...
But, I mean, you can, even online,
Yeah.
you know, you can go and look at people's sentiments and probably even talk to some people that, that voted.
I agree, because
Okay.
I would have loved Black Star Films. I have no qualms about that because of all the Black Star stuff that we know, you know, because of our football. The name Black
us.
Star
I mean, it's
really
Ghana.
traveled far. So
Right.
if you mention Black Stars, I'm sure people who don't even know probably would ask, is this coming from Ghana?
Right.
Because we are used to the name Black Stars.
True.
Now, it looked like there's a bit of conflict of interest,
Right.
you know, because we know Black Star Film Festival to be Juliet Asante.
Right.
And Juliet is the executive secretary of
Right.
the body that is supposed to give us the name.
Right.
And then it comes back that Black Star Films
Right,
won.
right.
So anybody sitting somewhere would
It
ask
may
questions
not
of
look-
how transparent was this?
Right.
What was your influence in
Right.
this? How do you feel about this whole thing?
Well, so I myself, as the executive secretary CEO, I wasn't part of the process. I did not see this coming. I haven't thought about it, you know, but obviously it's a real concern. I don't own the name. Ghanaians chose the name. As a Ghanaian, I have a right, and, you know, over 20 years I've been impacting this sector. Everybody knows my work. The festival has done a lot for Ghanaian filmmaking sector. You know, it's been around for over 7 years. So my question is, because I'm a Ghanaian and because I'm a filmmaker, but because I'm the CEO, so the work of the festival is irrelevant or shouldn't continue. I see and I hear what people are saying, but I'm trying to wrap my mind around the connection, because the film sector is so much bigger than a festival. The festival is only a subset. So my question is, if the name represents who we are and can take us to where we want to go, but because it is a festival, so it should be put under the festival, it should be cancelled because of the festival. I think that's a little short-sighted a bit, because, you know, the festival, like any organization, can even collapse one day.
Yes.
I mean, we wish it doesn't because of what it contributes to the sector. But the name of who we are, Black Star, will never collapse.
No.
The film sector will never collapse. Way after I'm dead and gone, and everyone here is dead and gone, it will continue. Even the festival may not be there. I mean, even when the festival started, you know, it encouraged so many other film festivals. You look at the history, you see that no festival was working in Ghana until this festival started, and other festivals followed. So my question is, or the point I struggle with, is that what we are discussing is so much bigger than a festival. And yet we've reduced, you know, the concept of who we are and what the name can do for the sector to the festival, thereby even giving the festival more importance, so to speak.
Well,
that,
it is important.
Well, but you get what I mean.
Yeah,
It
I
is
do.
important, but you know, as
Give
a
it more
Ghanaian,
attention
you know,
now.
more attention. But as a Ghanaian, you know what? I have always committed my life to the bigger picture. I have always committed my work to the bigger picture, to Ghana and to the sector. And even if this festival has to suffer because, you know, to step back so that this name, if that is what the Ghanaian people want, can move forward and thrive.
Would you give up Ghana Film Festival?
I mean,
Black Star Film Festival. Would you give it up now because of all the conversation going
well,
on?
I haven't thought about it, and I think it would be unfair to the Ghanaian people and even to the film community to cancel a thriving festival because of, let me make the word, a few people, because it's not the majority. The majority people, you know, voted for Black Star Films, but because a few people may have misgivings. But in the overall scheme of things, what I'm saying is that the festival stands nowhere close to the magnitude of what we are doing and what this name means to Ghana, the sector and all of that. And if the festival has to suffer for the name and brand to thrive globally and take Ghana films to where it needs to be, who am I? I am only a Ghanaian, but Ghana is what I belong to, and Ghana comes first.
Did you at any point contest the name? So for instance, when it was suggested, you know, even before the voting started, did you anticipate that, okay, so what if at the end of the vote, Black Star Films win, you know, or get the nod from Ghanaians? Did you see this as, okay, maybe the executive secretary owning Black Star Film Festival, if Black Star Films gets the nod to be the name of our industry, what is going to happen? Did you at any point think about this and probably suggested that, no, this shouldn't be there?
I didn't think about it because, like I said, Black Star belongs to, I mean, there are many things called Black Star already. So I didn't think about it, but I heard that the committee did think about it, did talk about it. And you can find out from the chair of the committee and those who were on the committee. In fact, I understand that even on the last day before they called the vote, they talked about it and they were ready. They said, well, that's the popular vote and we just have to let people understand that it is what it is. So no, I didn't think about it. I didn't think that we would advocate that you know, an individual name overrides the sector name and all of that. But as a leader and all of that, I do understand how it may look to some, and I want to use the platform to assure everyone that that wasn't, I mean, the credibility of Professor Audrey Gajepo cannot be questioned. The credibility of Mr. Kwabena Jekum cannot be questioned. All the committee members, you know, they cannot be questioned. Those who voted for the name, perhaps Mr. Kwanzaa, the Honorable Minister and all of that, you know, their credibility is out there. But then as a leader, I understand, and it is my position to take in every thought process that comes in and to sit with it. And, you know, for me, it's interesting because I see this as God's work, you know. How? Because, you know, the way it was coming in, the way it even came to the surface, you know, other names were predominant, you know, like you're saying, you may say that you don't go for GFI, Ghana Film Industry, but there was quite a large advocacy for that, you know.
GFI?
I don't know, like Ghana Film as the brand for Ghana Film. I mean, like, but people did advocate for that. Gollywood has been a name people have advocated for.
Ghana Film is also in the act, right? Ghana Film Industry?
Ghana Film, yes, because that's the descriptive of the sector, you know. And so it's always, you know, there are other names that have been there, but, you know, it looks like as we were going along, it's interesting because even for things that we've done, you know, example, we have a committee called the Classification Committee. And there's a logo they have, which is black, you know, Black Star. But that logo was transparent when it was designed, you know. And then the chair of the committee, who is Mr. Sope Safo, insisted that the star should be made black. And then you look at other things, you know, the president did a video and then said the Black Star is calling Akwaba. You know, so and so many other things, like I said, Mr. Kwanzaa felt so strongly about this. If you go to online settlements and everything everyone was saying, so it felt like almost like, you know, and on the day of the announcement, you know, the thumb that we used to print, you know, I'm standing there and then I look at the thumb and then I turn to one of my team members and I say, you know, I've never even noticed the star in the flag, you know, but, you know, it's so prominently there. So it just felt like this is what God intended and that's what has happened. And for me as an individual, I'm very flexible and relaxed and non-resistant to the direction that God takes me. And so, you know, I'm going with the flow as it unveils.
I mean, for me, I think people's concerns are legitimate, but my question is that where were you when the whole thing started?
Thank you.
You know, and why didn't you speak up when the whole thing started? You've had over a year to campaign, to bring people in on board to vote, and then even to say, listen, this Black Star Films that is on remove it before we go to vote. Remove it from there. You know, all of that was. You had time to do that.
You had time.
You did nothing.
Fact, when the votes were even closed, there were even time, you know, and anyone could have petitioned the committee itself. I don't know, we don't have record of any petition reaching the committee, even though the committee itself. And I remember a report that came to me is Mr. Abeku, who's also a committee member. I think I understand by when the initial names were even coming through, he even brought up the issue as a concern on the committee. And I understand another committee member, Mr. Frank Babin, said that, but she doesn't, you know, the executive secretary doesn't own the name. The name belongs to Ghana, so, and he advocated that the name should be left there. Other names also had same up and down, but I think this concern came up. And on the last day, it came up as well, but in the wisdom of the committee, who we trusted and gave the process to, and I don't think anyone here can question the credibility of Professor Audrey Gajepo, decided to let it pass. And that's what we have. Right,
so now officially we are the Black Star Films. As it stands now, that is who we are, the Black Star Films. What next?
What next? That's the exciting part. And, you know, for me, I use the opportunity to call on all Ghanaians to please fall back in love with the film sector. You know, no matter what problems we have, it is our own. If you see a film by Peter Sedufia out there, you won't say, oh, Peter Sedufia, they'll say this is a Ghanaian film. So whether we like it or not, this film represents us. Also, we are looking to create jobs and all of that. And film is one of the vehicles for creating massive jobs. In fact, the recent UNESCO report that came out said that right now the sector employs 5 million people and brings 5 billion to Africa. But the potential is 20 million to employ 20 million people and to bring 20 billion to Africa. What is our share in that? Recently, I was at a cinema conference forum, and I brought up a point. I said to the forum of investors, global investors, cinema investors, and I said, look, America has 7,000 people to one screen. The whole of Africa with over 1 billion people have less than 1,000 screens. So this is where you want to be. The gap is wide. The opportunity, however, is large. So I use this to call on all Ghanaians and all filmmakers to rally behind the name and what we are trying to do, which is to position Ghana as a shooting destination and a content hub. You know, in 2020, Ghanaians spent over almost $40 million on online games alone. This is money that could be coming to us if we harness the animation, gaming sector to even, you know, create the kind of games and content we can show to our children and show to Africa as a whole. And we are the Black Star of the world. And so if we start to make content that is representative of who we are, we can begin to impact the global mindset as well as African mindset, as well as that person who sits there and thinks that no good can come out of black. We can show the person that, in fact, all good things started from black. In the beginning, there was darkness, and God said, let there be light. Meaning that creation itself started from black.
You preach.
You know, so we ourselves as a people, you know, we are committed as an organization. The National Film Authority is only 2 years old, but look at all the things that we are doing. And we are committed to helping situate Ghana as a content and film hub. And we call on everyone to join us on the journey, because together we build.
Absolutely, together we build. Thank you very much, Juliet, for coming. This is Breakfast Daily. We'll be right back.